Mani sought refuge in a cave for a year, and when he emerged from the mountain cleft, he held scrolls depicting mesmerizing images of the creation narrative of this world. With the presence of forces that turned the earth into a battlefield for a millennia-long struggle over the possession of fragments of light, humans became tools for either the freedom or enslavement of this light. Mani introduced himself as a messianic figure and the seal of prophets. However, unlike Muslims who later adopted this title for their prophet, claiming that no prophet would come after him, an examination of Mani's teachings showed that his understanding of the seal of prophets meant not the final prophet, but a messenger connecting the prophets before and after him. In this belief, there are always beings on earth to guide humans on the path to the eternal light. Individuals under the guidance of the luminous forces from the world of light, and in some cases, luminous deities themselves, manifest in the human body and come to earth. These deities are part of the forces that created the earth in the realm between two worlds of light and darkness and turned it into their main battleground against dark forces. They always keep an eye on earth and, whenever they perceive that dark forces are gaining more power, send a special envoy to the human world. Their main goal is to release the fragments of light that have become prisoners of darkness. However, simultaneously, dark forces under the command of Ahriman are seeking to protect the fragments of light they possess, and their most important tool for this task is humans. Ahriman has utilized a significant portion of the scattered fragments of light on Earth to create the first examples of man and woman, and these fragments of light reached their descendants and the descendants of their descendants. Thus, the more the population of humans increases, the less chance luminous forces have to free the light, which has fallen into the hands of dark forces. Amidst the struggle between these two factions, all beings on Earth, including humans, are captives. We have previously discussed the foundations of Mani's beliefs, and, in an attempt to better understand his definition of this world and the forces ruling over it, we have turned to this book. The collection of writings translated from ancient written works related to Manichaean beliefs reveals much about the creation narrative in this belief. Comparing these narratives, you will notice variations in character names, but as you may recall from the previous video, Mani gave the freedom to his apostles to adapt the names of deities, characters, and even the settings of their narratives according to the communities they were preaching to. However, the narrative thread remains consistent, and creation begins with the presence of two worlds of light and darkness. Mani also systematically recorded his opinions and beliefs in a cohesive series of books. One of the most important of these books is called Arjang, and one of its latest versions existed in a library in Ghazni until the late 5th century Hijri. Still, for reasons not mentioned in the book, it was erased from existence, and not even a page of it is available. This approach may be indicative of organized efforts to eliminate Mani's works. This is a topic we will discuss more in the next videos, so make sure to subscribe and join us on this path. Regarding Arjang, which was an illustrated myth of light and darkness, many supernatural discussions have been raised. Among them is the claim that the images in the book came to life. This phenomenon, considered a miracle until 100 years ago, can now be perceived as ordinary due to technological advances, as anyone can have a book with moving images. But the issue that connects this book, and Mani himself, to previous discussions we have had about gateways to strange worlds within the heart of mountains, is a narrative stating that, to write Arjang, Mani took refuge in a cave for a year. When he emerged, he had sketches that astonished everyone who saw their patterns and designs. Where this cave was, whether anyone visited Mani during that year, and whether there is any explanation or narrative from Mani about this period are subjects that need to be explored together. Mani's creation narrative begins with two eternal forces, light and darkness, Zurvan, the ruler of the world of light, and Ahriman, the ruler of the world of darkness. They are likened to two trees, one producing good fruit and the other producing bad fruit. Zurvan, introduced as the Great Father, is a glorious ruler, the god of all gods and the father of all races, absolute brightness and eternal beauty, sleepless watchman, a vigilant glory whose ship never sinks and reaches the shores of light and immortality. A world where everyone resides in happiness and joy, with fruit-bearing green trees, whose fruits never fall and never rot. A world without darkness, where everyone is immortal, healthy, and in perpetual life. They do not know sorrow, their beauty is indestructible, and their god-like bodies are eternal. Continuing our exploration of the importance of the North in ancient beliefs, we have come across the Manichaean narrative that the world of light under discussion is to the north of the world of darkness. Since the Earth is constructed between these two worlds, the north of the Earth becomes the direction toward the world of brightness, an interpretation bearing a resemblance to Mandaean beliefs about a world beyond the Earth that we know, with spiritual forces governing human destiny in the north. We have reviewed a somewhat similar belief in Yazidis religious beliefs, and you can find the link to both videos in the description. In describing Ahriman, Mani's narratives are somewhat familiar with a relatively common image. He is depicted as a lion with a body like a dragon, wings like a bird, and a tail like a fish. His essence is described as ugly, wicked, dark, and foul-smelling. Similar to ancient Iranian mythical narratives, Ahriman one day, by chance, sees the world of light, becomes enchanted by its beauty, and decides to conquer this land anew. Zurvan, also referred to as the Great Father, has a pure essence that could not withstand the battle against Ahriman. Even the forces in his service were so pure and luminous that they had no capacity for any malevolence against anything and anyone, including Ahriman, so they couldn't confront the dark forces. Thus, Zurvan begets a force called Mother of Life to take charge of providing the equipment for the battle. She, in turn, creates her son, Hormazd-bagh, to engage in the battle against Ahriman and his demons. Hormazd-bagh symbolizes the complete and perfect human and is equivalent to Keyumars in ancient Persian narratives. He has 5 children, Faravahar, wind, light, water, and fire. Known as Amar Aspandan, they accompany Hormazd-bagh in the battle against darkness. If you have seen the previous video, you know that they are defeated by the forces of darkness. Hormazd-bagh descends into the world of darkness and loses consciousness, while Ahriman's demons devour his 5 children and light is mixed with darkness for the first time. With Hormazd-bagh imprisoned in the world of darkness, the Mother of Life seeks help from Zurvan to save her son, and Zurvan creates a second group of deities to take action in rescuing the captive in the world of darkness. The first god is named Dust-Roshanan, probably the illuminator of the battlefield. Then Mehr-Izad is summoned. But the central and the most important deity in this part of the narrative is Mehr-Izad, who also has 5 children, Darbud, Marsbud, Vaisbud, Zandbud, and Manbud. Remember these names because we will delve into them further later. Mehr-Izad succeeds in saving Hormazdbagh and brings him to the world of light, but needs to do more to save the fragments of light left from Hormazdbagh's children inside the demons. Mehr-Izad goes to the dark world and defeats them first, then alongside the Mother of Life, starts planning to shape the material world. Initially, they make 8 earths from the bodies of the killed demons, and from their skins, they create 10 skies. Mehr-Izad also drags the surviving demons in chains and binds them to the dome of the sky. Also uses part of the still untainted fragments of light to create the sun and moon, and with some slightly contaminated lights, creates the stars. All serve as guides that attract the fragments of light towards themselves and, after purification, send them to a place called the New Paradise. Mehr-Izad then creates 3 wheels for the liberation of some fragments of light still imprisoned within the demonic forces: the wheel of fire, the wheel of water, and the wheel of wind, with one of his sons, Zanbud, guarding them. Another son, Dabud, becomes the ruler of the upper 3 heavens, while Marsbud becomes the ruler of the lower 7 heavens. Vasebud stands in the middle of the universe and becomes the celestial guardian. And finally, Manbud stands on the 5th earth, carrying the 3 upper lands on his shoulders. The result of all these creations and the division of tasks is a world without movement and still devoid of life. Similar to ancient Persian mythological narratives, the movement of the earth, moon, and sun, and the beginning of life in this world commence with the emergence of limited time under Zurvan's order, to ensure that the eternal luminous paradise or the world of light remains safe from the events and battles of the periodic clash between light and darkness. Mehr-Izad creates a place called the New Paradise. The fragments of light that can be rescued from the world of darkness after being purified and refined in the moon and sun migrate to the New Paradise, and in the end, all the light will turn towards the world of light at the culmination of the world. It might be interesting to know that the transformation of the moon in this belief is due to the presence of lights that could save themselves. In this interpretation, the crescent moon is likened to a ship that fills its capacity during the moonlit days, and when the moon is full, this ship moves towards the New Paradise and is not in the sky, until, after emptying the lights, it returns to the Earth's sky and prepares for its next journey. One of the most important gods in this stage of creation is named Nereyseh-Izad, the deity of Earth, who sets the moon and the sun in motion and reveals day and night. Nereyseh-Izad is also the most beautiful god with both feminine and masculine aspects. With this characteristic, Nereyseh-Izad plays a significant role in the next stage of Mani's creation narrative, with the help of another beautiful force named Miss Brightness. They appear naked in front of the demons, woven by Mehr-Izad into the sky. Due to their intense beauty, light fragments from the male demons exit in the form of their semen, and from the pregnant female demons, the fetuses fall onto the earth. Some of these lights transform into plants and animals on Earth, but some remain free, and before light forces capture them, Ahriman comes to the scene. Ahriman creates 2 demons who swallow the lights and couple with each other, resulting in them becoming parents to the first humans on Earth, named Gehmord and Mordianeh. They bear no resemblance to the demons and other creatures of Ahriman because they were created with inspiration from Nereyseh-Izad and Miss Brightness. For this reason, they have a resemblance to the light deities, alongside the light that was swallowed by their demon parents. So they exhibit significant differences from other Ahrimanic creatures, yet also bear a part of the darkness within them, manifesting as shame, lust, envy, and hatred. Among all, lust is the principal weapon of Ahriman in the battle, a force that makes humans to multiply and causes the light to be distributed between more physical bodies, making the task of the forces of light in freeing this light from the material world more challenging. Adam and Eve in Mani's narrative have a different destiny from Adam and Eve in Abrahamic religions, the story that we will discuss in detail on our next video. As always, if you have watched our video this far, don't forget to like and comment.